Hi, all. Welcome back to ACCFI Presents. We're going to continue with our conversation from the previous week, and we can't wait to get started. Let's get into it. A lot of people are new to this area and are kind of seeing the Fashion Incubator for the first time, but they're not really sure, where it came from or what some of the initiatives are, and or how it even got here. And so it's so key for us to tell that story, of the people who are involved. You, Dr. Malcolm, and Mike Midgley, and the city of Austin, and all of the work that was had gone into actually creating the Fashion Incubator. So, we definitely want to make sure that those stories are amplified so that we're able to share how this ecosystem is really coming to be. So thank you so much for taking the time to answer,
Yes.
About the beginnings of, really what I think is going to really help catalyze our industry.
Oh, and I agree with that. I think, when you look at what we did, number one, the community college, Austin Community College, loves to partner on things. And so being able to partner with the city of Austin, and the city of Austin in 2015, I believe it may have been 2014, had done a study, and they had discovered that there were hundreds of designers in Austin. They knew how to make a product, but they did not know how to get it to market. And so that's where I think the concept came from, through the city of Austin, that they needed to look at this. And of course, they approached us as we do all the workforce things. And the other thing, though, that we brought was not just the fact that we could provide a space for this and we could have an interlocal agreement, but the commitment of faculty and human resources to this program. And as you know, not only did we do those things, and did we start the Fashion Incubator and hire you to be over that, we started a fashion design program for credit, which we had not had. We had some CE courses, but not fashion design credit. And all those things are important because you start with, and this is how most programs start in a community college. You start in the CE, the continuing education area, and then that develops. There's enough interest that suddenly you have a program that is for credit. And for us, it would be a program that then would be able to transfer to a university for a 4-year degree, or maybe they don't need that 4-year degree. So what we want is for ACC to become the place people know they can come learn about fashion, and then they're going to have one step up to being able to enter as one of the designers in the Fashion Incubator.
Absolutely. We love that. And I love the continuity of the story. I think it's so important for people to understand that, there was a lot of groundwork laid in the continuing education department, and, being able to prove that people are really coming to ACC to take fashion classes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They had, huge success with bringing in a lot of students for the CE courses, and really proved the need for the associate degree. So we don't take that lightly. We know that there was a lot of work that went in to make that happen.
So that's been fun, and there's been a lot of people involved and enjoy all the work and the things that have been accomplished and will continue to be accomplished.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking forward to a really exciting year. We've got a lot of realignment and some things that we're really wanting to engage deeper across the college with the incubator. There's so many wonderful resources. So, our first stop is really to kind of start where it all started, and get plugged in, get reconnected, because it's so key for us to be able to share what has really come about because of cross-disciplinary collaboration. It's really been across the board.
Absolutely. And because we want to fill community workforce needs and then reach more local people and help give them the skills they need to be able to continue in good jobs and stay in this community and build a stronger Austin.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better. I'm really glad that you started to bring up some of the questions about the community. I'm going to ask you a little bit about that now because, whenever we were looking at the different elements of things that the incubator could provide, small business support, development, workforce development, introducing technology to manufacturers, how do you see the incubator kind of answering some of the needs, of our local community? How does ACC meet some of those needs of our local community?
Well, again, one of the things when we start a new program, we don't start a new program just to start a new program. There needs to be a workforce need. And as I mentioned, the study that the city had done had seen there was a workforce need. We had more and more companies that were moving here that needed people that knew how to sew appropriately even. And so what ACC then has been able to do is start bringing those people together, helping them get the skills they need. I mean, some of the courses that we teach, as you know, are even how to use the Gerber technology. So it brings in people at different levels. It's not all about being a fashion designer. It's about how do we have the people that can sew these items and get them the way they need to be. So ACC was excited to be a part of that and help build on an ecosystem. New York has been the place for fashion, and even I guess LA, San Francisco, San Diego, those areas. And I look at this and go, we're right in the middle of the United States. And with things changing as much as they had, why can't the next fashion hub be in Austin, Texas? And with things that have changed so much with how buttons are delivered and zippers or fabric or anything, you can order it and get it. I know
You're so right.
Yes, when we were in New York, they mentioned, of course, New York grew because the whole industry grew around the areas where they were. You could walk out of your showroom, go 2 doors down and buy your zippers or your buttons or your trim or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's moving out of downtown New York because of cost and a lot of other reasons. And so again, okay, we've got a lot of wide open space in Texas too, so we can begin to build this ecosystem. You're going to get your deliveries from whatever group brings them, and we can make Austin the fashion hub.
I love that. I love that. And I share that vision with you. We've really seen so much change in the last few years. So many more people moving to Austin, so many more businesses moving to Austin. Every time I look up, there's like another, firm or another company or another business that's anchoring this area. So it's very exciting.
It is, and they're going to continue to come because it is a great place. And the fashion industry is not just fashion by itself. It brings in technology, as you've mentioned. All the different pieces come together here.
That's all for today. Thanks so much for joining us for ACCFI Presents. Definitely come back and join us next week for our next segment in this series. If you particularly enjoy the content that you're seeing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, keep up with our conversation on our social media handles at ACC Fashion Incubator on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll see you guys next time.